Y'all, I'm back with another universal conversation. Y'all already know what's going on. Okay, extra, go ahead and follow my social media platforms. And most importantly, go ahead and follow that drink page. Today we got a blueberry. Today we got a blueberry bliss. You dig? You feel me? It's good as hell. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It look like red. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what's up with these grape and these blue flavors looking red as hell, but it's blueberry, y'all. And it's definitely blissful. But nah, let's get into the topic today. So today we're going to be talking about communication. And honestly, I feel like communication is a really good topic that I should hit on because a lot of people struggle with communication. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, it's hard for a lot of people to communicate. And I feel like communication, if you know how to communicate, it can solve a whole lot of problems. I feel like communication could eliminate a whole lot of issues within yourself and then just within a lot of relationships. You know, I feel like a lot of relationships and just life problems in general lack communication. If we had communication, a lot of shit would be eliminated. Like, okay, so for instance, I feel like assumptions. A lot of people assume a lot of things because they don't know, because they're not communicating. Like, for instance, if we in a relationship, say me and you are in a relationship and you think I'm moving one way, but you're assuming I'm moving this way, but you don't know because you don't want to tell me. You can't speak up. You don't want to speak up. So you just think that I'm just acting this way and you carrying this feeling. So you really think that I'm really being like this the whole time. It's not even that. You just too scared to speak up. And I just feel like a lot of people are scared to speak up. And I feel like a lot of people should not be scared. What are you scared to speak up for? Speak up. It's okay to speak up. And I feel like a lot of people feel like they can't speak because they feel like they're always going to be wrong. You know, it's no right or wrong. I don't feel like that. I feel like, especially if you want a relationship, I feel like any like a key to any relationship, friendship, relationship, like brother, sister, mama, daddy, uncle, sister, I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, it's all a communication thing. You have to learn how to speak. If you don't speak to these people, how will these people ever know how you feel? How will somebody ever be able to connect with you if you're not even able to communicate with them? So I feel like communication could go a long way. I feel like a lot of people become depressed and a lot of stuff because you're not communicating. Like I said, it brings me back to that assumption thing. Everyone's just assuming. We all just assuming these things, but we don't know because we're not communicating it. We're not speaking. We're not speaking our truth. We're not saying how we feel because we're scared. And I feel like a lot of people, you know, I feel like sometimes you can't even blame people for being scared for not speaking, because a lot of people do. When they speak up, some people make them feel like what they're saying is wrong and that they cannot speak up. Excuse me, y'all. But in reality, how you feel is never wrong. And you should never, ever be scared to speak up about how you feel, because your feelings are always valid, despite what anybody else has to say. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like communication can lead to a lot of things, especially depression, because, and I say that because, you know, okay, so for instance, let's just say you feeling all these ways about all these people that's around you. You feel like all these people don't love you off of their actions, off of what they're doing. But you continue to feel like this as time go on. So, you know, you start to become sad within yourself. Like, don't nobody care about me. Don't nobody love me. But how would you ever know that if you never voiced that? If you never went up to this person like, hey, mom, or hey, dad, hey, bro, hey, sis, I feel like this because I feel like you don't love me because so-and-so and so-and-so, because you're doing this, because you're doing that. How would you ever know? Like, and they could be like to tell you like, oh, well, you know what? Like, it ain't even that. Like, it's not that. Like, a lot of times people have things going on within themselves, which is why they can't show up for you. And it's not necessarily that people cannot show up for you when you have things going on, but, you know, that's what's normalized now in this generation. People normalize, like, not being able to be there for you because they have to show up for themselves. So it's like, it's hard for someone to show up for you when they can't show up for themselves, when really that's not how it should be. So if someone was to explain that to you, like, you know, I got my own things going on. It's not that I'm sitting here acting a way towards you or I don't love you. It's just I'm going through my own things. I'm battling my own things. So it's kind of hard for me to sit here and show you that I love you. Like, you know, I love you, but blah, 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 blah. So, of course, if somebody was just to tell you that and let you know that, you would be cool. You would, like, that feeling, that anxiety and that thought of people not loving you would die down, because it's like, okay, cool, I understand they got their own thing going on. They let me know what's going on. But instead, y'all are too scared to communicate. Y'all are too scared to say what y'all have to say. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with fear. Why are you scared? Stop being scared. Like, speak up. You guys need to speak up. Why are you afraid to speak up? If you, like, have y'all ever heard the saying, closed mouths don't get fed? That's really true. Closed mouths do not get fed. And that's within what you being hungry. That's what you feeling, how you feel, everything. It don't necessarily have to be just about eating. It could be about a lot of things. Closed mouths don't get fed. You won't get that closure. You won't get that understanding if you're not speaking up, saying how you feel. Stop being scared to speak up about how you feel. Don't be scared. Speak up. Who is to tell you that you're wrong about how you feel? How you feel is never wrong. It's never wrong. And I know I tell y'all don't say never, but for real, it's never wrong. How you feel is never wrong unless you legit know you're wrong. Like, but other than that, your feelings can't no one ever tell you like, oh, you wrong for feeling how you feel. No, because how I feel is how I feel. And who are you to tell me I can't, like, I'm wrong for feeling how I feel? And that's why I feel like a lot of people are scared. And that's why I feel like communication plays a big part, because it's like, if we were all just able to communicate on the same level and really have that same understanding of things, all these feelings could be avoided. Like, communication to me is very key. You have to talk. You have to talk to do a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of people want to be like big business owners and big people in the world. You know, you have to speak up. You can't be afraid. Like, for instance, I done worked with a lot of people. I done worked in small businesses. I done worked for people. I done worked under people, you know, and what I've learned and just observed that, you know, people allow, like, these people allow people to walk out over them because they're not speaking up. All because you're simply not speaking up. So if you don't speak up about how you feel, if you're not speaking up about what's really right to you and your establishment or in your heart, no one's going to ever respect how you feel. And I feel like if you're not able to talk and voice your opinion, no one's going to respect you. Because if you just feel like, okay, I can just sit back, like, even though you know it's wrong, like, I just don't want to do it, or you too scared. Like, what are you scared for? Your voice needs to be heard. We all have a voice for a reason. Your voice is meant to be heard. I don't care who you are. Your voice is meant to be heard because you have one. If you can speak, my baby, you better use it. You feel me? Use your voice. Use your words. Speak. Communication is key with anything. Don't allow no one to walk over you. Without communication, you are allowing everybody to walk over you. And then, not to mention, all these feelings that you're enduring inside, that's all on you. And I'm not sitting here trying to point fingers at nobody, but honestly, whose fault is that? That's your fault. If you feel like somebody's doing this to you or doing that to you, that's your fault, because you're not explaining. You're not sitting here voicing them. You're not understanding. So, like, let's just say, for instance, like, your friend tell you, like, girl, you tripping. Like, I don't even understand why you doing that. Da, 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 da. You just gonna think your friend on some hate and weird stuff. But the whole time, if you don't communicate, if you don't talk to her, ask her, like, girl, why you say that? Like, and then she like, girl, cuz, like, X, Y, and Z. And you'll be like, okay, I understand. But instead, what most of us do is, your friend will say, oh, girl, you tripping. And then you'll just be like, in your head, like, oh, she think I'm tripping. Da, 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 she weird. I don't want to talk to her. Da, 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 da. And that's why a lot of people aren't friends no more, because we have miscommunications. If you don't communicate, and understand where this person is really coming from, you are never going to understand. You're never going to understand their purpose of saying what they said. You're never going to understand where they were coming from. You get what I'm saying? You're just going to assume. And honestly, that's something that we should never do. Assuming is something that hurts us deeply. Like, you should never assume anything. Don't assume, because you don't know. If you don't know, don't assume. Ask. Once you get your answer, then okay, go off of that. But half of us just go off of a response. We don't ask. We don't, because we're too scared to speak up. But like I said, it's not to blame. Like, I feel like a lot of people were taught like that, though. A lot of people feel like they couldn't have that voice, when it's like you always have a voice, but people always belittle your voice. And sometimes people do that because they know that you're right and they want to keep you down. But at the end of the day, that, for real, y'all see this? Blue face, I had to find a new babe. You had to find a new voice. Speak up. Be heard. Your voice is meant to be heard. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but I'm telling you now, and I'm going to repeat it 3 times just so y'all can understand. You are meant to be heard. Again, you are meant to be heard. You are meant to be heard. Speak up. Even if it don't feel right to you. Even if you feel like, I don't want to say this. I just feel like I just can't say it. Say it. A lot of us are too stubborn. Say it. And I'm here to tell you, we got to break that. We have to break that silence. We have to break that, because in order for you to get what you want, in order for you to get where you want to get in your life, speak. Speak up. Communicate. Communication will take you a long way. And I bet you, once you communicate, that'll kill a whole lot of assumptions that you're having within yourself. Communication Y'all, that breath was just crazy. It sounded like I was just losing my breath. But nah, I'm just excited because this is a really good topic. But no, communication could take you a long way. Communication can eliminate a whole lot of things for y'all. And I feel like a lot of people feel like they cannot communicate, but you can. Like, you have to speak up. You have to talk. Because if you do not talk, how are you going to get to where you want to be? How are you going to know what you want to know? A lot of us are sad because we simply aren't speaking up. We simply aren't speaking. We're just assuming. We just walking around with these assumptions. And that's not good. Honestly, that's one of the 4 agreements. And if y'all haven't learned that, I want everybody to get on Amazon and go order the 4 agreements right now, today. Stop this video, pause it, go to Amazon and order the 4 agreements. Matter of fact, stay right here because I'm going to show y'all. Because it's definitely a hidden blooper.
Don't mind me, y'all. I told y'all this real raw and cut.
Go
like I
this.
said, go ahead, tune in.
Go
get the 4 agreements right now, today.
Go order this book. This book right here will teach you a lot. And one of the 4 agreements is do not assume. You cannot assume anything. You cannot. That's just something that you cannot do. Let me fix my camera, y'all. Assumptions. Do not make assumptions. That's one of the 4 agreements. No assumptions. You cannot make assumptions. This is not what we're supposed to do. You're not supposed to do that. You have to speak up. You have to speak your mind. If you don't speak your mind, if you don't ask questions, how will you ever know? And that just goes to show, like, honestly, communication plays a huge role in our lives. Like I said, I feel like that makes people depressed because when you're depressed, you have to think about it. Depression comes from all these different thoughts. You know, a lot of people feel like depression comes from everything that you've been through, which I'm not saying that's not true, but it's like half of that comes from you not speaking up. Half of that comes from you just like keeping everything within. And I can say that from experience. Like, yeah, I went through like my own traumas, which made me feel away. I've been through depression before. I know how it feels to be sad and, you know, to feel alone. And that's why I'm telling y'all, it took for me to have to speak up, for me to to overcome my depression. You have to speak up, because if you don't speak up, how will anybody know how you feel? Like, I was so upset and sad and all this time, but nobody knew because I never spoke up. But once I spoke up, everybody just like, okay, well, why didn't you say nothing? Like, how are we supposed to know? And it kind of just stuck with me. Like, well, they right. Like, how are they supposed to know that I'm sad if I'm not even sitting here telling them what's wrong with me? How are they supposed to know that I'm sad if I'm not explaining nothing? How are y'all supposed to know? Like, people can't read minds. And that's what a lot of us think. A lot of people feel like, oh, people gonna think they gonna know what's up with me because the way I'm moving or the way I look. No, not everybody gonna think like that. Some people just feel like that's just who you are. And like I said earlier, we live in this generation where some people feel like some people feel like they can't be there for you because they have to be there for themselves. So it's just like, how can I fend for you when I can't even fend for myself? I'm going through my own thing, so baby, I don't know this. But it's like, if you was to speak up and say something, all of this could be avoided. And that's why I'm just saying, like, that's why I just say I think communication really goes a long way, especially in the business world. Like, I feel like if you want to be a business owner, you have to learn how to talk. You have to have a voice out here, because these people will run over you. They will try to take over your business. They will try to tell you what's right for you and what's not right for your business. But who are you to tell me what's right for my business? And if you can't communicate, people gonna run over you. You're not gonna be successful. You're not gonna see the results that you want to see because you're allowing other people to determine your success. But if you have a voice and you speak up for yourself, no one can determine that success but you. You're the only person that can take you where you want to go. Words are powerful. Your words are everything. So that's why I want to encourage everybody to speak up. Our words are so powerful, y'all. We can manifest anything into our lives. So why do you feel like you cannot communicate to anybody? You can make things right. You can make people understand, but you have to talk. And it is like a part of your, like, a delivery is a part of that. When I say talk, that don't mean just, if y'all seeing this and you like, you know what, she right, I'm about to just go talk to my people like, yeah, I been said, don't go off. Don't do that. Sometimes you have to work on your delivery too. Communication comes with just a lot of things, not just communication, but how you talk to people, how your delivery comes off. And like I said, like earlier before, I didn't experience a lot of these things, and sometimes I've experienced like my delivery. Sometimes I know that my delivery can be wrong sometimes, and you cannot just come off rude or mean. Like, your delivery is everything. Somebody not gonna feel you. Somebody may not want to listen to you if you come off rude and mean. Like, you have to know how to talk to people, and that's something that I struggle with deeply within. Like, I used to feel like I wasn't mean, I ain't had attitudes, but I did. But it's just like, sometimes you have to step back and realize that your delivery is everything when it comes to communication. Communication ain't just about talking, it's about your delivery too. You have to deliver it right. You have to talk to people the right way. Treat people how you want to be treated. You feel me? So how would you feel somebody sitting here yelling at you, screaming at you because you're not listening to how they feel? You're not going to want to listen to them. You're not going to even want to care because why are you screaming at me? Why are you yelling at me? Why you got this attitude with me? Now I don't care. But versus if you come real calm and cool, calm and collected, and you sit and you talk to somebody, they're going to want to hear you out. They're going to understand you. So when I say communicate, y'all, I don't mean just go and communicate and let out how you feel. Like, yeah, let out how you feel, but also sit back and relax. Take a deep breath before you go and do that. Work on your delivery. And like I said, I was one of those people who felt like I never had attitudes. People would tell me, why you talking like that? I would be like, talking like what? Like, I used to feel like I ain't had attitudes, but I did. And I realized, you know, once I stepped back and was able to realize that and work on my delivery, I seen a lot of different outcomes. So people, it's not that people don't care when you talk to them. It's just your delivery. How you come is going to make somebody not care about what you're saying. You have to come correct. Like, when people say come correct for real. Because if you ain't coming correct, I don't hear you. Like, because why would I sit here and listen to you? Why should I care about how you feel if you coming at you screaming at me and you got an attitude with me because you upset? And you expect me to care? No, I don't care. Like, it's not going to make me want to care because why are you screaming at me? I'm not the one who hurt you. I didn't do anything to you. So it's just like you have to learn how to talk. You have to learn how to deliver. And I feel like a lot of us have so much built up inside of us that we are like, when we do deliver, it's like, I'm laying on the floor like I'm letting it out. But no, you don't have to do that. And it's also many forms of communication. Like you can write it out. Even though you're not talking to somebody, you're communicating with yourself. You're letting it out on a journal. You're letting it out on a page. Communicate, release these feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to release. You have to communicate. You have to communicate in some shape or form. Even if you're not talking to a person face to face, write it out. Write in your notes. Write a song. Sing. Go do something. Let it out. Communicate to your body. Do something. Give to your body. Go work out. Go take a walk. Go do something. You feel me? You have to do something.
My bad, y'all. My phone talking about it was finna die, so I had to get off my screen real quick.
Release. You have to communicate in order to feel better within yourself. Like I said, communication comes in all types of forms. It's not just one thing. You feel me? It's multiple ways that you can communicate. Like a lot of us need to stop feeling like we are alone because we're not. I encourage everybody out there to just speak up, speak your mind, say how you feel, because you're not wrong about how you feel. Your feelings are never wrong, ever. Like, they're just not. So, I just feel like my challenge, because I have a challenge for y'all every episode. So my challenge is communicate, speak up. Go talk to the ones that you feel like you want to talk to. If you're in a relationship and you feel like you can't talk, speak up. If you have to take time and think about it and think about your approach, do that. If you communicate, but it's like how I said previously, you come off with an attitude or you so mad, that's okay. Like, I understand that you're frustrated, so when you do release, it's just like, you know what? Blah, 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 blah. Like, you just upset. That's normal because you have it bottled up. But we have to unnormalize that. It's not okay. You have to realize it's not okay. And that's where communication comes in. Another form of communication. Communicate with yourself. Sit back and think, like, okay, self. All right. I know I'm mad. I know I'm upset. I know I feel all these ways. But this person that I'm finna go and communicate all these feelings to does not know that I was feeling this way. They don't know that I was this mad. They don't know I was this sad. They don't know any of this stuff. They don't know this stuff. So how would I expect them to sit here like, how can I sit here and be mad at you or come at you, scream at you, yell at you if you never knew I was feeling like this? So that's why I encourage y'all to just sit back and think, be calm, relax, gather your thoughts first, and then come and talk to somebody. Because I'm telling you, off of personal experience, no one is going to care if you just come off rude and mean. You have to be respectful. Just how you would want somebody to respect you, you have to respect others. People have feelings too. Yeah, you're upset. Yeah, you going through this. Yeah, you holding all this stuff in, but that's not their fault. That's your fault because you lack the communication. So what I mean is, y'all got to learn how to communicate within, and you have to learn how to communicate with other people. Once you learn how to communicate within yourself, and that just goes like taking accountability. But I'm not going to talk about that. That's a whole nother topic. Like, well, actually, yes, we're going to get into that because taking accountability. Once you take accountability for the things that you do, once you are able to accept the fact that you were wrong, or accept the fact that this, and that, it'll be way more easier for you to come across to somebody else. It'll be way more easier for you to talk to somebody. It'll be easier for you to express, and it'll be easier for someone to understand you because you're taking accountability. A lot of us lack accountability. A lot of us cannot sit here and accept the fact that we were wrong, and that's why it's hard for us to communicate as well. A lot of people are stuck between a rock and a hard place because you cannot take accountability for what you've done. Some people feel like they have to always be right, but I'm gonna sit here and tell you right now, it's okay to not be right. You're not always right all the time. You're not. That's just not how life goes. You're not going to always be right, but you have to accept that. And that's something that I struggled a lot within. I could never accept the fact that I was wrong. I had to feel like I was always right, but you know, that's a part of growth. You have to grow. You have to communicate within. Accept. Take accountability for the stuff that you've done. You don't have to always be right. Like I said, I'm not always right. I used to feel like I was always right and I had to be, but no. That's not how you grow. That's not how you get people to understand who you are. You have to take accountability for your actions in order for people to really understand you. How could you expect somebody to feel where you're coming from if you think you don't even see no wrong in what you're doing? You have to see the wrong in what you're doing in order for somebody to understand you. You can't just be like, oh, I know I'm right. And they like, well, no. And then you just like, nah. Like now it's just like they're not even understanding where you're coming from but it's not their fault, it's your fault because you're not trying to see where you went wrong at. Like, and that's just why that's a whole part of communicating within yourself. You have to communicate within you. You have to accept and move forward. And once you're able to accept and move forward, a lot of things will be easier for you. People will understand you. People will want to talk to you. You have to learn that it's okay to not be right all the time. It's okay to be wrong. That's how we learn and move forward. You have to know your approach is everything. When you're talking to people, you can't just come off rude, can't be mean, because nobody gonna want to listen and talk to you. Because I ain't gonna want to sit here and listen and talk to you if you got an attitude with me. And because people didn't want to do that with me. And that's something, like I said, I had to learn. Like, people will always tell me, you got attitudes, you got this, you got that. But I will always be like, no, I don't. But once I stepped back and realized that I did. But once I was able to accept that, people listened to me. People understood me. So that's why I'm just saying, like, y'all, just let that pride go. Like, accept the fact that you're wrong. And it's okay. Yeah, it's not going to be easy to accept the fact that you're wrong, because whoever wants to feel like they're wrong? Nobody. But we are. We're human. We're not perfect. And that's okay. But that's something that y'all have to learn within. And that's something that I had to learn within. So I'm here to encourage y'all. It's all right. It's okay. Let go. Release. And it's going to take time. And take all the time that you need. But until you're ready, don't go and communicate with nobody else until you're ready to really take accountability for your actions. Because no one's going to want to listen to you. No one's going to feel for you. No one's going to do that. Because if you can't accept it within, how can I accept it? How can I accept it if you can't even accept it within yourself? Nah, that's just not how it works. So you gotta accept. You have to learn how to move forward. You have to learn how to accept and grow. That's the only way that people are really gonna hear you out. Because once you accept within, your whole delivery gonna be different. Your whole output gonna be different. Because then you're gonna actually want to sit and listen to what someone has to say. Because if you feel like you right, you don't want to hear what they gotta say, because I know I'm right. But once you accept the fact that you're wrong and you're taking accountability, they gonna know. You know what I'm saying? They gonna be like, all right, okay, then it's gonna be easier for you to sit there and be like, you know what, they're right. You know what, I should have, it's gonna be easier for you to communicate. It's gonna be easier for them to communicate with you. So I just feel like y'all gotta learn how to talk. Y'all gotta learn how to take accountability. Y'all gotta learn how to speak up. Stop being afraid, because honestly, that's all that is. Stop being scared. Talk. It's not going to kill you to talk, but it's going to kill you to stay quiet. It's killing us when we stand quiet and holding all these thoughts within, because we feel like we cannot let it out. But how will you ever know if you're not expressing, if you're not taking the accountability, if you're not doing this thing, if you're not expressing, if you're not communicating, how will you ever know that your thoughts are wrong? You have to talk. That's what's killing us. That's what's making us sad, because we don't know. Because you're just assuming. Stop assuming. And like I said, before I go, y'all need to go and read this, because this right here, it's gonna let y'all know what's really going on. You did? Y'all gotta go tap into it. So like I said, go ahead and tap into that book. Do all that. Go ahead, and I want y'all to follow my social platforms. Follow my drink page. I already know what's going on. And like I said, I challenge every single last one of y'all that's watching this video to take accountability. Take accountability within yourself. Sit here and think about all the things that you've done. Take accountability. Communicate. I'm challenging you to communicate. Talk. Comment. Come back and comment and let me know how that made you feel after you released, after you done talked, after you done communicated. I bet you it's going to be a major difference. I would never steer y'all wrong. I wouldn't ever do that. But I really do want y'all to sit and think about that. Go ahead, talk. Communicate. Talk to your peers. Talk to yourself, most importantly. Think about all the things that you've done. Take accountability for your actions and then try to go and express and watch how easier it will be for you. Communication goes a long way. Communication is the key to everything. If you can't communicate, I don't know what to tell you. I don't see how you feel like you're going to elevate in life not talking. You have to communicate. People have to understand you. No one can understand you by you just thinking somebody reading your mind. How am I supposed to know how you feeling if you're not telling me? That's all I can say, y'all. So with that being said, I'm out. Y'all already know what's going on. Follow the platforms. I appreciate all y'all for watching. Tune in next Tuesday at 4 p.m. for the next episode. It's on. How could I ever forget? Before I end my episode, I do want y'all to go ahead and shop Pape. You feel me? Shop. Go ahead and follow their Instagram, Progress and Profit, every day, because that's what we doing. We progressing and we profiting every day. The clothes is giving. Quality is top tier. Let me get up close so y'all can see. Go ahead, follow my boy, Progress and Profit, every day on Instagram. Yes, go ahead, shop Pape if you haven't already. You did. Go ahead, get with my boy.